You need me for this?
No. That's what he wanted right there. What an idiot. I get like 2 inquiries a week from people that are like, hey, you want to be on the news? Hey, do you want to be on a whatever? It's just such a load of garbage. It's just so fake. It's totally like, you want to be on the news? It costs you $5,000. I've had that pitched to me before. It's super exciting.
Like what channel?
Like Fox, like
There you go.
literally. But it costs you $5,000 and you get like a 22-second segment at 2:36 in the morning, right? It's just so ridiculous. Dude, look at how much crap he's got in that office. Good God. You know, before the world was digital, the worst thing that could happen was someone will steal your freaking pen off your desk. Everyone hated that. Always the good pens were gone. Now, it's the freaking dry erase markers. Where is it? I don't have black. That's fine. You want authenticity? This is authenticity. People are quote unquote winding down the new year, or the year. And I think that it's even far different this year because I think that being 2020, everybody this year just wants it to be over. And so it's like, when can we get to the end? Maybe you are like, when can we just have the election over and then everything's gonna change? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But I think that most people just want it to be over. And I think that there is grave mistake for 2 reasons in doing that. So that's what I want to talk about today is do not waste the last 3 months of this year, both for the good of this year and for the benefit of 2021 and every single year that will follow thereafter. 2 things that I think are really important as we think about finishing off the year, and I'll speak specifically to this year. Number 1 is do not waste a single moment for a whole lot of reasons of the last 2.5 or so months that we have left in this year. I don't care about the fact that it's the worst year you've ever had, sorry, but I don't care from the sake of trying to finish well. By taking advantage of this time, you will far outrun so many other people that are gonna do what you wanna do, which is sit back and wait. So that's number 1. Number 2 is when we think about planning, when we think about goal setting, when we think about setting off on a new year, your ridiculous New Year's resolution, whatever, guess when you start to do that? In January. But you've wasted days, weeks, months of the new year planning, and then before you know it, it's March, and maybe you're finally getting going into the new year. Let's go to the whiteboard because I like a whiteboard. These are common questions, but I'll bet you don't answer them the right way. So when I think of 2020 or just whatever, any year, here's a question you want to ask yourself. It seems so simple, but we don't appropriately answer that question. And beyond that, which I think is really important, is in a year like this, again, all we're thinking about is getting past, moving on, making it all go away, finishing it off. Don't do that. What went well? In the midst of 2020, 1, 2, 3, 10 things went well. As a matter of fact, I had my best year financially in business, and we're not even done yet. So you gotta think about what went well. Number 2 is what didn't go well. When I think about these things, I don't think about I didn't get coronavirus, though that's great. Or what didn't go well is I lost a bunch of money. Like none of those things matter for this specific evaluation of my year. Simple example, if you took your foot off the gas and maybe even put it on the brake because you got stuck at home, sorry, but that's your fault, right? You have an opportunity. I know we struggled. I know we have to fight through that. We had bad days, but you gotta think about the things that you did positively that affected positive outcomes, the things that you did negatively that affected what produced negative result. So those are the 2 things that I think about from an evaluation perspective. As a matter of fact, I feel like because of the state of the world that we're in, we can actually finish the last 3 months of the year and potentially produce more in the last 3 months than we produced in the first 9 months. So long as we put our head down, we get focused because everybody else is asleep. So that's something that I think is super duper important. I can't wait to move so we can actually have acceptable air that flows normally, that doesn't rattle the building off. I mean, the small things, right? You spend $6 grand a month on a building, you'd think that the air worked appropriately. And nobody could break in and steal your stuff. And when they did break in, they would accept responsibility and they would fix it in a timely manner. It just so happens that it's getting fixed right after we move out of this friggin' place. So what do you gotta think about in 2021? Here's the only thing I want you to think about. Well, 2 things I want you to think about. New year, or any other year thereafter. Number 1 is, we're gonna go in reverse order this time. What cannot happen that you are responsible for? If it's, I can't not continue to earn the amount of money that I am, you have to figure out a way to fix that. You gotta think about what's in your control. I can't not be confined to my house anymore. You have to figure out how you're gonna break free of that. Number 2, what has to happen in 2021? If you say to me, what has to happen is I need to make $1 million, you're ridiculous unless you made $999,999 next year and you just tip that scale. But you can't necessarily control that. Again, this comes from a place of, how do I want to live my life? What do I want 2021 to look like? How do I want to be fulfilled? How do I want to be happy? How do I want to enjoy my life? How do I want to experience relationships? How do I want to go to work every single day or not go to work every single day? What do I want my family to be like? What are the things that are gonna drive me to get to the end of 2021 and feel like I lived my life? That's what you need to think about. That's what I'm gonna be thinking about. So take time to go through those 4 simple questions. And on the back end of all of that, I offer to you, reach out to me. You need help answering those 4 questions? Anything else? I'm happy to do that. We can create long conversations around that. Quit overcomplicating things. Until you figure out those questions, you shouldn't be setting goals. Until you figure out those questions, you shouldn't be thinking about what your 5-year plan looks like. Until you answer those questions, you shouldn't even think about what tomorrow is. Figure out what you can control to create the good and turn from the bad. It's that simple. The problem is nobody wants it that easy. We'd rather overcomplicate things and just cause ourselves so much frustration. So do it. Dude, there's our lunch! Nothing else matters anymore. Lunch, lunch! Isn't it great? Like, food makes my day. We're not eating lunch together, are we?
No.
You got another call?
Yes.
Why?
This is just lunch, people.
Why did you turn him back in?
You're acting right now, and I don't appreciate it.